Hello everyone. Welcome to our Heart Aligned Business Alchemy workshop today with special guest. I might be pointing in the right direction, I don't know, or up and down depending on the device.
That
Chloe
way.
Rose. That's right. Chloe Rose. Welcome, Chloe.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here. Definitely feeling nervous to be back on a live stream as a guest after the break.
I have to like dust all the cobwebs off myself.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of cobwebs.
Oh, that's beautiful. Wow. I love those. And welcome to everyone in the chat. Thank you for joining us. Viviani's here. Hello, Viviani. Thank you for joining. Excited for our live stream on Thursday. So today we have you can tell we're a little bit like we've not done this before. So, and especially just after the break. So I hope everyone had an amazing, however you celebrate the turn of the calendar year and the remainder of the year of is it the wood snake? So thank you for coming back to this channel and thank you for joining us in the live and in the replay. What we're doing today is, so if you remember just in December, I took on the, I felt brave challenge of channeling in a new service into, I actually put it live on my website during the session. So in just over an hour, like defining a new service for my business and publishing it live. And I felt that, well, that was fun. I'd love to actually help more than just me. And so I invited Chloe to come and join us and to work with Chloe. So Chloe's also a very talented psychic channeler and many other things. And so in today's session, what we're going to do is really I'll be supporting Chloe and connecting with her spirit guide or guides to help define a new service. And this is a service offering that at some point, I hope Chloe decides to put on her website. And it would be fabulous if that happens. And the idea is that you guys can also, feel free as we're going through the session to comment on the sorts of things, the intuitions that you're feeling, what you might be struggling with, the service that we come up with kind of matches those problems, the solutions as well, ideas. Feel free to put those into live chat. And I'd love these videos really to create a kind of legacy for us all that, we can go back to these videos and say, wow, that was the first time I saw someone do that, or first time I tried it myself. And it's not what we're trying to avoid is come across as being anything like superhuman and more towards, anyone can do this. You can create a new service in about an hour and without overthinking it and with accessing higher aspects of yourself, your higher self, your spirit guides, dragons, archangels, source, God, whatever your beliefs systems are, really to help bring these intuitions in and help you support yourself in your business and on your mission. So I'll go ahead and create a safe space. And then right after that, I'll go into a little bit more introduction with you, Chloe, and your mission, and we'll get started on creating your service.
It's like spirit guide AI. I love it.
Right, yeah. That's right. Control. No, I won't say those words. Maybe we're in a safe space, I'd say it. Okay, so we'll go ahead and create a safe space. And please join me as we take a deep breath in through the nose, nice and deep. Breathing out what no longer serves our highest good, nice and loud. Breathe in through the nose, nice and deep. And breathe out any fear, shame, anxiety, or pain, nice and loud. And breathe in through the nose, nice and deep. And breathe out any remaining low vibration energy or emotion, nice and loud. And continue to breathe deeply and calmly as it feels right for you. And from the center of your heart, extend a cord of light up through the top of your head, up into the sky and up into the stars. all the way up through the highest frequencies and dimensions of this universe until you reach the highest dimension of source, and there connect in your light cord into the highest dimension of source. Remain connected into source and extend your light cord down to the stars and sky, back down to the top of your head and into your heart once more. And now, this time from the center of your heart, extend a cord of light downwards, down through the base of your spine and deep into the earth. Reach all the way down through the layers of the planet until you reach the very core of Mother Earth. And there, connecting your light cord into Mother Gaia's crystalline heart. We send Mother Gaia so much love at this time. Allow her to send her love back. Remain connected into Gaia's heart and extend your light cord back up through the layers of the planet, up through the root of your spine and into your heart once more. And now, together with the light of source above, Mother Gaia below, and your own light, expand out the golden bubble of protective light to surround you, about 2 meters out to each side, above and below, in front and behind you. And set the intention that only energies and entities with your permission, your highest good, love and compassion, can see you, access you, or exist within this space or within you. That all other energies and entities must leave immediately into your safe space. Invite in your spirit guides, your higher self, your angels, your dragons, inviting in Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, Source, and Gaia. And we ask at this time for their guidance and clearing, healing, and protection. And now, through space and time, I create a golden protective bubble around all of us in the live stream and the replay for this heart-aligned business alchemy workshop. And I set the intention, only energies and entities with Chloe and I's permission and the highest good, love and compassion of all can see us, access us, or exist in this session space or within us, and that all other energies and entities must leave immediately. Inviting in our spirit guides, our higher selves, our ancestors, our archangels and dragons, Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, Archangel Metatron, Source, and Gaia. And I'd like to set the intention for today's session that we are here to support Chloe in developing a new service offering that will best serve her on her mission, serving others all around this world at this time. And with this, I'd like to invite forwards one or more of Chloe's spirit guides to work with us today. Wonderful. Thank you. Okay. So I was getting a little bit of guidance already. You have a very feisty spirit guide. Is it Namora? Is that her name?
Namora.
He was so a water dragon energy, and she came in from just like from my left up in front of me, and she said, John says, first thing, she said, prepare to open the Akashic records.
Mm-hmm.
She wants us to be able to because I didn't do this in my session. She wants us to be able to visualize, almost like we're watching like a TV screen, is to like be able to kind of step in and out of the visuals and the experiences of you doing the session in the future. Mm-hmm. Which, as I say it, it's like, well, why wouldn't you do that?
Yeah.
So obvious, John. So thank you, Namora, for that.
Namora is male, by the way.
Again, sorry?
It's a male being.
Oh, fantastic.
Just so that you know. That's probably why the energy was so like.
That's right. Thank you. Okay, so I have brought up on my screen, and this is, I'm hoping this is readable for people on video. I brought up on my screen a little template that I've just completed. So it just has some simple things, and this is just one page we'll be focusing on today. Your name, your website, Chloe, your intro and mission, which I'll ask about in a moment, and then some titles. So these are the titles that we're going to populate during the session today. I say we, I'll be typing, and we'll be sharing whatever comes through.
We will be co-creating.
We shall co-create, indeed. And also special thanks to our moderators for dealing with any trolling behavior. So thank you for that. So Chloe, would you like to introduce yourself, please?
Yes, thank you. And thank you for setting up that safe space for us as well, John. That was really beautiful. Hello, everyone. I am Chloe. I've just put my name as Mystic Hearts today because that is my channel handle, aka Chloe the Elven Mage. I am a multidimensional psychic mentor, artist, and mage, currently residing in England. And my passion is helping other people to face their deepest, darkest shadows and come out of hiding to shine in their fullness and be their most multi-dimensional, beautiful, full expression.
Wonderful, thank you. I'm just preparing the opening the Keshet records for you. Could you take us through your mission, Chloe, and the reason? Let me make sure I've got this fully up on the screen. The reason I wanted you to read it out is because, well, first of all, it's yours and it's your energy, and some people might be wondering why I do this, like why I always go on about what's your life purpose, what's your life mission. And if you think about it, if we didn't have this and we just went straight into like, let's do a new service, right? We would have no idea the direction that we were going. We would just create something maybe beautiful, who knows? And so really this is a way of kind of channeling that energy, focusing the energy towards, none of this is constraining, right? It is just offering direction to the offering. And so when if you're okay reading it out, Chloe, or if you know off by heart, even better.
Not yet.
I would just ask that our guides and also those, especially in the live chat, listen along to help really feel into the energy behind what Chloe's mission is, to help us align the service offerings that we co-create today.
Thank you, John. And after I've shared the mission, can I just share something about it as well that I think would help people? Okay, so my mission is to support as many people as possible in breaking free from cycles of fear, empowering their journey of self-discovery and embracing their multi-dimensional self, encouraging freedom of authentic expression, sovereign spirituality, embodied wisdom, and shattering layers of conditioning to experience life-changing transformation from within. Taking those who are ready to honor the calling back to earth, to realign with nature's rhythms, face their darkness to harmonize their shadow side, activate and embrace their superpowers to live a life of love, magic, and purpose. And just as John shared, creating this mission has been such a lighthouse for me, because whenever I feel stuck, I come back to this now, and it gives me kind of key words and key focuses and keeps me centered. But what I also really want to share is creating this mission was probably one of the hardest things I've ever done. And John, you know how much I was pulling my hair out, trying to encapsulate something into my own words and my own expression. So as you see the mission now, and as I just read it, that was a work in progress. That probably took a couple of months to fine tune and go back in and take things out, put things in. and make it into kind of 3 simple sentences as it is. But it's always a work in progress, but it took a while. This isn't just something that I sat down and channeled instantly. It was definitely something that took time and care and work. I just wanted to share that.
Wow. Thank you. Was there something else you wanted to share? You mentioned.
No, it was just about that. The fact that the mission, like for me, that took time, and that was one of the hardest processes of really building my heart-aligned business, was actually getting that mission statement down and not like fitting myself into a box,
Yeah,
taking it out of the box and creating something that feels good for me. That was the one of the hardest parts.
wonderful. And I was receiving really strong visuals as you're describing the mission, and starting to get some kind of hooks into the first sections to focus on. Before I do like engage more with your guides, you're the client, right? You're the human, and I. What is it you would like out of a new service?
So, I know that you and I, John, have both channeled something very similar recently,
Mhm.
which actually happened with my last new service that I created, the one-to-one witch activation. John and I both channeled it separately on separate occasions and came together.
Mhm.
And the same thing has happened this time. So over the Christmas break, I've been getting a lot of messages, dreams, and visions from dragons,
Yeah,
and lots of guidance towards creativity, but in a way that brings the realms of fantasy into reality. So I want to create a service around weaving fantasy into everyday reality to live a magical life, and make this actually something that will be supportive for others.
wonderful. You can see me
Yeah.
typing. Um, oh, that's so beautiful. And yeah, something you don't know, this is probably surprise to you, is it was actually 2 weeks ago that I started getting these intuitions. And you're in a small membership group, which is the Heartline Business Alchemy membership group, and I offer as part of that membership um, messages every Monday to each member. And you'd skipped one, and
Mhm.
which was rare for you. And I was like, and it was so funny because I know that I didn't have consent, so I was like I'm fine to receive things about my clients or members, but I'm not going to go asking or do any work. And so I sat with it for 2 weeks, completely silent, and I was like, and it's exactly what you're describing. It was this pull into fancy, and fancy becoming reality.
Yeah.
Um, so let's go into some of the detail, and unless you've already settled on a title, I'm happy to leave the title to the end, or at most we could put in a draft of the title at the end.
Let's
um
leave the title till the end because that's the hardest one for me.
yeah, right. Mm. And so, to help with do you feel, so let's just take a moment, just to orientate ourselves. So just taking a deep breath in and breathing out. And if you'd like to just imagine we're stood side by side facing your Akashic records, and I've already opened up a portal, just bringing awareness to that large, for some reason it's oval shaped. I don't quite yet know why.
Looks like a painting.
Yeah. And it for me, it's an experience where it's sometimes forming. I'm being shown um almost like static images, scenes, and then others it feels alive. It feels like I can step into it, and I feel these are different states of the same thing. As you were describing your mission, Nomura was showing me these. Initially, they looked like little dark dashed lines between, for example, you and or your client and this future state. So this future state is the fantasy that we're being shared with. And I just want to be clear to Archangel Metatron and to Nomura and our guides, this is what we'd like to see within this portal of our Akashic records, of Chloe's Akashic records, is start to get a sense of the different states of this service. Everything from any imagery that Chloe can use for art and for advertising the service, and also the ability to step into it and feel the experiences. At times, we may be drawn independently or together to step into and to temporarily receive some of those feelings. I'm just getting a sense of that in my heart. It's really powerful. Those dotted lines I spoke of, Nomura said that many of your clients have a dark dotted line between their real life today and their dream life, their fantasy, and that they can only access it at best during some dream times. Or maybe those moments where they feel like they've fully escaped and they're immersed, like in a 3-hour plus Lord of the Rings movie. Like they just find themselves, they catch themselves like, wow, it's this goes on forever, and they feel like they're there. And this is really powerful, so I'm going to try not to cry. These happy tears, which is
please don't, because you'll start me off. I cried in a client session last night as well.
Oh, that's beautiful. I was shown that for clients that feel disconnected from this magic, this fantastical realm that really exists for each of us, is that you're able to start building the connections between their current life and the fantasy life. I saw you during the session, and we could ask for this experience too, that you actually create a bridge, and you're okay. And you're standing with them at the foot of the bridge, and it's quite small. It's like, it seems to be quite a dark brown stone bridge. It might be like a limestone bridge, and it crosses from their current life into this fantasy life, and you're standing there with your client hand in hand, and you're saying, please walk with me now, walk with me into your dream life, walk with me into your fantasy, come with me now. And what happens is once they reach that stage, once they enter that fantasy, you turn around with them and you begin to stretch the bridge. So the bridge, that's why it's like in these kind of heavy 3D stones, is that it expands out fully and widens this bridge. So the bridge really no longer becomes a bridge, it becomes a free flowing foundation between the everyday lower vibrations of the third dimensional everyday life and the fantasy. And they can just drift in and out whenever they wish and pull these different parts, pull something from their fantasy into real life and real life into fantasy life. And they just, over time, these practices just blur them completely until they become fully one.
I love that, because I feel like what you're describing, I can see it, by the way. I can see it. I can see the bridge and everything. Yeah. And what you're describing is exactly the journey that I've been on in myself, because I used to think or feel that fantasy was escapism, but now it's inspiration for me. Fantasy is empowerment. Fantasy makes me remember the full expression of my soul. So I actually experience fantasy in a completely different way now.
Mhm. Oh, that's beautiful. Okay. So we could ask for, and I'd love to get everyone's support as well
Yeah.
in the live chat about this question about do you feel. So these are statements we'd like to ask for guidance from our guides, and those in the live chat about the problems that describe how a client feels when they're facing this challenge, and these are quite sad, right? These are quite challenging emotions that people feel when they are disconnected from their magic, from the very thing that they loved when they were a child, the fantasy aspects, the magic of their life. And I'm going to ask if Nomura can help us just bring in even like a representation of a guy of a client into this visualization for us, Chloe, and we can start to ask some of those questions and maybe put down at least the top two or three.
Mhm.
So let's just ask now. So I'm just going to start typing some, and then feel free to. I'll type and you talk, Chloe. I will type what I'm receiving as well.
Limited by the constraints of everyday life. That was one that came through.
That's beautiful. Limited by the constraints of everyday life.
So it's, do you feel do you feel like there is something holding you back from expressing your heart's creation? Or something like that. I probably need rewording.
Thank you. Something is
Something is holding you back from
your heart's. You said heart's creation.
yeah, expressing your heart's creation.
Wonderful.
Mhm. Catherine shared something really interesting in the comments. When Chloe mentioned how she used to view fantasy as an escape, but now she sees it as a remembrance, I realized that I've been feeling afraid of paying any attention at all to fantasy, and I don't know why. So this could be an amazing question. Do you feel afraid or triggered by fantasy and sci-fi, something like that?
Yeah.
Mhm.
By sci-fi or fantasy. Yeah, there's.
Mm.
It's quite funny as you were channeling the something is holding you back from expressing your heart's creation. I was typing and updating my your heart is shut down to the magic of the world. It's something about loss of it. There's like this feeling of mourning, uh,
Yeah.
mourning the loss. Oh, it's
Mm.
horrible.
I know.
Where did we go wrong as a human race? Where
So
did we magic?
mystical lifetimes we've shut down and we've just allowed to die.
Yeah. It's so sad, and yet such a beautiful opportunity.
Yeah. I feel like there is one or two more that want to come through for these questions if we have the time.
Yeah, I think it's worthwhile. I was
Limited by the constraints of everyday life, afraid of There's something about inner child that wants to come through. You just feel.
Yeah, I keep hearing the word disconnect.
Yep.
It doesn't necessarily need to be part of the same problem, but the disconnect is powerful.
Disconnected. Do you feel disconnected from your childhood dreams and fantasies?
Wow, Chloe.
See, we're co-creating.
Now I can't spell. It's okay, I can't spell anything. There's no distinction here. Disconnect from your childhood dreams and fantasies. Wow. So
that was the one. That was the one that wanted to come through.
Beautiful. So yeah, let's if there's anything else that pops up, I'm happy to type them in. And I feel it's really powerful when someone's reading this. So this would be on your webpage, showing, you'll have a title and maybe an image or something, and then there'll be like this very first thing, the energy of these, like mourning the loss of these aspects of their life. There's something about our souls. Our souls know that these are real.
Yeah.
That these fantasies that we fantasize about, we dream about, they are actually real. They're real realms.
Yeah.
Just like all those people that think about Lord of the Rings or Harry Potter, like they create those realities. And so now that we have that, let's go on to the opposite of that, right? So we're kind of skipping the bit in between, and we're going to say, okay, we don't know what's going to happen, the how, but we'll focus on the outcome of. So we're going to ask some questions, and we could even go and ask your future self running this in your Akashic records, and also the client that you work with, how they feel at the end of the session. So this is by the end of this session, you will have an let me just ask now. I'm just being shown like a replay of the building connections, and then these connections becoming a bridge, and then the bridge becoming foundations.
Yeah, and then having like the full picture of the fantasy and the dream once they've crossed the bridge.
Beautiful. Transformed the. Into an expanding bridge.
It's so interesting what you said about grief, John, because I heard someone saying recently that all fear stems from grief. So everything that we're scared of, everything that we're resisting, all of the anger, all the hatred, everything comes from grief. So it is all wounding of the heart, really, when we go deep, 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 deep. Yeah, and it just reminded me of what you said. So we're grieving these fully dimensional memories of ourselves.
I struggle with the language of real fantasy or fantasy real life, etc., because they are two different concepts merged beautifully. But I'll not get too bogged down on that.
I can change the wording a little bit.
Of course, feel free to. The full picture you mentioned, I took a note. Could you expand a bit more on that?
Yeah. So when this connection has been made, then the client, the receiver of this service, will be able to have a full picture of the fantasy life. So it won't just be a memory of, one thing. It will be like a full picture, the sensations, the sights, the sounds, the smell, the energetic vibration. So as you said, they'll be able to actually be traveling back and forth, almost like finding their home in the fantasy realm, or as I like to call it, the immortal realm. That's another word for fantasy, John. Immortal realm.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Another thing that's coming through for me is that the client will have an understanding of their mystical origins. So whether that be dragonborn, whether that be fairy, elven, elemental, something completely different. And it could be multiple, of course. It will be whatever is the most important for that person to travel to at the time.
And I was being shown something about the practical influences that it has, that your fantasy then has, or your mortal realm then blends into your day-to-day life. Oh, it's lovely. These emotions are so powerful, Chloe.
I have been crying a lot recently, so maybe that's why. Crying happy tears, though.
If I can, so I'm asking a question. I'm not being given words. I'm being given feeling, because the words are constraining. So now I have to tell a story about the feeling, and the feeling is that first feeling of like no longer mourning that loss.
Yeah.
It's a feeling of feeling reunited with,
I like that word.
with your and how to live these in every single waking moment.
Something else that I envision for this offering as well is that by the end of the session, the client will have a creative outlet for them to express this fantasy. So not only will they understand how to bring it into everyday life, but there'll also be a number of practical actions in a way of creatively expressing. So that could be anything, that could be acting, dancing, singing, making things, crafting, painting, drawing, writing, dressing up, any of these things, there will be an action step towards expressing themselves creatively and expressing whatever that is in their heart. So it will be like a creative inspiration.
Thank you. How to express yourself creatively. It's kind of mixed with what I was saying, but I wanted to have it as a separate bullet, because I think the expression's so powerful. Express yourself creatively. Wow. Okay. I kind of want to book this in already.
I want to book it for myself.
That's right, yeah. Well, you have to live it first, Chloe, and then you teach us all as well.
Well, this is an example.
Hey.
Spirit guardians.
That is very true. And it's incredible, right? You could have said, you could have said to yourself 2 years ago, no one's going to pay me for, my art of spirit guardians. And then the next thing, it's like a key part of your business.
Yeah.
And I feel that, and it's a foundation, right? And it's up there as artist, and in your introduction, it's like these really powerful foundations, like the bedrock of what is a beautifully fantastical fantasy come true.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
And also being told, like, all of our lives that magic and fantasy isn't real, and now it's like, you just watch me.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Let me show you how to live your dream life. So this next section, we've got 2 more sections. And this next one is about just some of the experiences that they may go through. So it's more about the feelings, and the second one's more about the things that you'll guide them through. So creating a safe space, accessing the Akasha records, for example, if that's what you did. So let's go into, it feels like this in the experiences, the feelings. Let's ask a bit more about this, and we can visit through the Akasha records as well.
A word that's coming through is merging. I haven't got the full expression of that yet, but merging was an important word.
Let's take a note. Merge. Break. Fear.
Something that comes through is transforming from a space of escapism into empowered inspiration.
You said empowered inspiration.
Yeah.
It's funny, as soon as you said that, I just felt this like slight pull on the center of my heart upwards.
Mm.
I'm asking the client that you've been working on in your Akasha records, and they're kind of like they're just kind of really blissed out. They're like, "Oh, I just feel so good," and I'm like, "Could you talk to me about how that feels?" "Well, I just feel great," like okay, more words, and so I'm getting some of the feelings as well. And that the merging does feel it's a merging of realms.
Yeah, and reality. I like that. Or how about just in your consciousness?
Yeah.
Become unified in your consciousness.
Thank you. I'm just talking about it's like your future self is having a chat with the client, and you're talking about that feeling of the mourning of the loss of the like this inner child magic, that mourning has now gone.
Mm.
It's this feeling of, and it's really interesting. I wouldn't use these words together, like mourning and then quenching, but it's like quenching this thirst, this hunger that your soul has. Like, this must be real. There must be more to life than this 3D matrix.
I like that.
Just had to write it. Quen as a child.
Mm.
I'm hearing full embodied adult. Wow.
Yep.
Grown up. Just a tall kid. That's what my daughter called me at Christmas.
Just an enlarged child.
Just taller and grayer child. Like, great. I'll take that. Wonderful. And then I want to spend a few minutes before we run out of time as well, to just go back to the start and check in on, do we think we've really helped the client for the problems that they surfaced. So this little section's titled in a way that someone can choose like their top 3 areas, and then you can so you could change that, and that every session is unique. It's not just some script you take people through. It is, completely tailor-made at every step to them. And the idea here is, what I do in my sessions is I'll list maybe 10 things. We don't need to write all 10, but 10 things that I would do typically in a session, and that not always all of them are in a session. But so that's why you'll work through some, not all of the approaches below. And it's very much guided and tailored, guided by spirit, tailored for the client. So let's feel into some of these, and it's okay for this just to be a bit of a list, like a bit of a brain dump of what comes through.
Connecting to inner child.
the Akashic records, I asked a couple of times about it, said, yeah, it is really helpful. It's something about the Akashic holding the fantasy realm itself. It's a funny. I'm hearing visitation.
Yeah, I like the idea of viewing like an old book and an old painting. Mm-hmm.
Your fancy.
Yeah, I like that.
Nomura just said, and us, remember us. Like, yeah, okay, yeah, your guide. So at least one spirit guide.
Yeah.
Okay. Suddenly things just got really big and really expanded. So this feels like an action for you to explore, Chloe. Who is this I'm talking to?
Elmara, isn't it?
It's really interesting. It's a message to Elmara. She's saying she's speaking of the Grand Elders.
Mm.
I've not heard of them before. And so she says there's something very important about your work in this service, which is that when you bring someone into their fantasy life, the fantasy is real.
Yeah.
And so all these realms that we're constantly thinking of, we sometimes describe them as a universe, like the Marvel universe, the DC Comics universe, Lord of the Rings universe, that they are actually real because as humans, we have this huge co-creative capability. And what did I call them? The
Grand Elders.
The grand elders.
Yeah.
So you will meet some of these on your journey.
Mm-hmm.
These are gatekeepers of these realms.
Mm-hmm.
Because the more clients you work with, the more you'll tie in. So you will bring in it. So in other words, what you're doing is not just for one client. It'll have this effect where you'll start to. My heart's starting to race now. You'll start to join in.
As far as I'm aware, this is a Grand Elder because the painting that I did that I channeled.
Oh wow!
Because it's a keeper of dark cosmic mysteries.
Wow, fantastic. Let me just ask, why is it being shown here? Grand. They're saying it's an opportunity to connect with grand elders, the gatekeepers of our fantasy realms. And why? Because it doesn't just make your fantasy real. It makes it real for others and helps you connect with others. So it feels like from your perspective, Chloe, you'd probably be working with grand elders, gatekeepers, fantasy realms, to I'm hearing that embody, to bring in and fully embody your life and to help you connect with others.
I'm seeing the Grand Elders like as the weavers of the web, but it's the weavers of the fantasy web. So when people connect with their true fantasy selves, it's like they weave the web to connect to others who've also done the same or who are yearning to do the same. That's how I see it.
Wow. Okay, and anything else?
I feel like this is one of the superpowers of this service, is that for anyone who chooses to remember their fantasy self and fully embody that full dimensional version of their self, it will then in turn have a knock-on effect and cause someone else to wake up and to remember. Like a domino effect. That was the word I was looking for. Inspire others, instigate or inspire others as well.
Beautiful. I think that one would, well, I don't really know. It's interesting because if we can just leave it there, it does feel like you could move that around, because if it's in this section, it's kind of more towards how you would help them be, and you might be saying to someone, by the way, we've done a bit of an exploration and there are 3 people in your area, and here are the signs of how to connect with them. You know, you're going to have to dress up, right? You're going to have to go to these places. You can fully embody that version of yourself. And it can also be, or it could be moved to part of the experience itself, you know,
Yeah.
getting the person to experience it themselves and say, you know, as I take you to your future, to your fantasy realm, what this future of where you already experienced this fantasy merged with real life. Like who's there? Who's with you? How are you with them? How does it feel? Do you know any of them already? Are they like the kind of fancy avatar of the human, and you're bringing them, you know, you have the opportunity to remember them and help them reconnect. Oh, it's such a lovely feeling.
Can you write somewhere, because this is just something that's channeling in now, full soul liberation?
Wow.
It's just something that wants to come through.
Yeah, it feels like right at the start. Oops. I love doing this live as well. No pressure, John. Full soul liberation. Okay. So really just to check in now on the first points. So do you feel limited by the constraints of everyday life? Do you feel afraid of or triggered by sci-fi or fantasy? Do you feel disconnected from your childhood dreams and fantasies? Do you feel something is holding you back from expressing your heart's creations? Do you feel your heart is shut down to the magic of this world? Do you feel lost without direction in your life?
Something else that feels like it's coming through because of this, you know, connecting with others is something like, do you feel isolated, or or misunderstood, perhaps?
Yeah. Perfect. Well, we're up on time.
So now I just need to create a title, no pressure.
Yeah. Perhaps I'm sure there'll be no promises, but perhaps some of the people in the live chat could offer some titles, or in the comments. Come back to the live stream and add them to the comments.
Yes, if you're excited about this service, let me know some title ideas or words that you love. It would be great to have that inspiration and the co-creation again.
Yes, absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Chloe. How was the experience for you?
It was amazing. Thank you so much. It's amazing to do it in this way and just to see what comes through. It's really lovely doing it in this way rather than, you know, just sitting down pen to paper, which sometimes is great too.
Yeah.
But it was fun doing it this way and just on the spot and seeing what came through. But yeah, I loved your visual of the bridge. I feel like that really helped me to cross over the bridge,
Yeah,
and see that full picture. I have a visual of what the artwork is going to be like already.
that is wonderful.
Mm.
Yeah, really, really exciting. There's something incredibly powerful about your service because I don't know about you, for example, especially on Instagram, I follow a lot of people who just do these fancy things day-to-day life.
Yeah,
They walk around with a normal clothes on, but they have like a sword and a knight's like helmet. And they
yeah,
just go, and they're just like, I'm going to the shops today. And I'm like, I love you. I just think like
so
that,
cool.
that is the life. That is the life I want. Um, Catherine is asking, is this offering one of healing? Which is very interesting. And that's something we wouldn't really touch on, but that could be something you could absolutely add if you chose to, Chloe.
Yeah, I think we did put in a child healing
Yeah,
in there.
yeah. And I feel it's really fascinating. In a recent client session, I saw a lot more about the dark web of fear, the dark matrix that sits
Mhm.
heavy upon us. Like it
Yeah,
weighs down and it does all these weird things, like says to us, oh, you can't do that because you wouldn't earn money, or you can't do that because it's against the law. And
yeah.
then when you actually challenge these fears, you're like,
Mm.
hang on a minute, that's not true. Like, or
Everything is possible,
yeah,
actually.
exactly. Yeah, it's completely the opposite. The reality is completely the opposite. It
Yeah,
is it is it is entirely possible until proven it's impossible. And as we all know, it is almost impossible to prove things are impossible.
yeah.
Um, so
Yeah. Mhm.
that was so magical. Thank you, and thank you to everyone in the chat. I'm sure we'll be checking through the live stream. I couldn't see the live chat while I was typing, so thank you to everyone who's contributed.
Yeah, thank you so much, everyone. I've enjoyed, reading some of the comments.
Great, and maybe there'll be a future point this year, Chloe. You come back on this show, and we can check in on see how it went.
Yeah.
See who's booked you in, and yeah, do let us know. Please, I'll make sure and share on my channel. And if I remember, if you remind me, I'll go back to this video and link in the comments and description below the service that Chloe then creates. And my personal advice, Chloe, is explore the service as much as it feels right. And this is another big step, right? Which is trying not to overthink the creation of a service and then just trying it, right? And just going, I quite like it. Or it's like, oh, that just felt weird, or there was something missing, or whatever it was. And once you feel in your heart, and I have very high hopes, this it feels so good every time I connect to that future. It's like, I just want it. Like, how much? When can I book you? Definitely feels like a February booking if it's available by then. And this, once you feel happy with it as a practitioner, you can then decide, like, how do you feel about the pricing, how do you feel about the advertising, the people that are attracted to it. And it feels so powerful because there's so many people now waking up and like yearning this, right? They're like, I miss this, I miss this.
I've got so many channels of information coming in as you're talking to me. I'm so excited. Oh,
Great.
thank you so much, John. This was amazing. Thank you for the opportunity to do this and share this with me. It's so powerful.
Well,
And I love bouncing the ideas off you too. It was a really fun way of doing it. And thank you. And I'm so grateful for your business mentorship and everything that you've helped me with. So yeah, thank you. And watch this space for this new service.
Fabulous. Well, I'll thank you so much, and I'll bring our session to an end, thanking our guides, our higher selves, our angels and dragons, every soul that's participated in today's session, including Source and Gaia, and just asking all of us to step outside of the shared session space and to remain in our individual protective spaces for as long as we choose, as I close the shared space down and return to source whenever I return here again. And please do make sure you drink plenty of water after experiencing this, and do check out Chloe's website, which is already linked in the description of this video. And I can see that it's been linked in the live chat as well. So thank you so much to everyone for coming on this wild ride for us. And you can say, I was there when Chloe was making that service.
Yeah.
Or it's like got booked out for years in advance. So
I even shed a few tears. Thank you so much, John, and thank you so much, everyone, for being here.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
See you again soon. Sending love. Bye.